Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo, and I am here with the review for the Ready to Love spin-off Make a Move Season 1, Episode 1. I hope you guys are doing good today. I'm doing well. I know it's Tuesday, and I know the show came on Friday, but guess what? Guess what? What do I always say when I'm on here? I was out of town. I was out of town, y'all. I'm always out of town. And Fridays are a horrible night to film a show. I don't care what anybody says. People have things to do on Friday night. But make a move. We can talk about what happened on the show. From the very first 5 minutes of the show, I knew that a couple of things are going to probably happen this season, on this channel specifically. One of the things that's probably going to happen is I'm going to lose some subscribers, more than likely. I'm going to gain some subscribers. And the third thing is I'm going to piss some people off. See, this is the thing, you guys. And I'm going to try to still hold back because I know there's a time and a place for certain things. But y'all don't really know me for real. Like, you know me, I post stuff on my community wall every now and then, but I keep things very light on this channel. I never really go in like I could go in, and baby, I can go in, especially when it comes to dating, when it comes to women, when it comes to Black women specifically, when it comes to dating within the Black community. I really do have a lot of thoughts that probably are not all that popular. And I'm going to try not to say some of those things on here because I don't want to rub anybody the wrong way, and because I don't want to just get anything started. But definitely the first 5 minutes I was just like, oh my gosh, there's so many things I could say, but they would not be well received. So let's get to talking about the show. We have our single ladies. They're back from previous seasons of Ready to Love. Ashley was my fave. I don't have a lot of favorites from Ready to Love when it comes to some of the ladies, but I will say the season that Ashley was on there and getting to experience Ashley, she was one of my favorites. The girl that was the DJ was one of my favorites. And I have a couple of more, but I just can't think of them off the top of my head. But Ashley definitely was one. I thought that she was beautiful, bubbly, fun, charismatic. She was a little extra at times, but I enjoyed her. And of course, we all know that the season that she was on Ready to Love, she was with Alex, and it did not work out with Alex. Now, I never heard her talk about it the way that she talked about it on this show. I have heard a radio interview of her talking about it, and at that time, she was still very, you could tell she was still very hurt, and I think she was still trying to speak well of him. So it was just kind of like made it seem like he wasn't ready for the same thing she wasn't ready for, but it was still very surface. She didn't go into much detail. It seemed like the breakup was fresh. This Ashley is giving us all the tea that we ever wanted to know. And I think more of the tea is going to continue to come out as the show goes on. Although I hope it doesn't, because I want her to not be associated with Alex when it comes to this show. Courtney Alexander, I believe Alex was his middle name. But she says that she eventually found out that he had done two things she asked him not to do, which was don't embarrass her and don't lie to her. And he did both. As he was in his coma, you guys remember he was in a coma for a while. She found out that he was not who he said he was, that the home was in a friend's name, that his car was in his sugar mama's name. I'm sorry, y'all. And various other things she found out. And while she was still trying to root for him to make a recovery, which he did, she had all of these things going on in the background, which is embarrassing and heartbreaking. And she was still holding it down, even though she was not his wife and really didn't have that duty or obligation to him. So I can only imagine how she felt. Probably felt very played, very used, and then very discarded. So I did feel bad for Ashley. You could tell that it still hurts her feelings to talk about. I do hope she's in a space where she's moved past it. I'm worried about Ashley on this journey only because she's giving oh gosh, hold on. She's giving unhealed. Let me not say unhealed. I will say she's given a little bit of healed pick me energy, which means she knows that she doesn't need to do what she did the last time. She even said, I need to be more assertive. I don't need to just be the cool girl. So she knows what she needs to do. That's why I say it's a healed pick me energy. She knows what she needs to do, but I'm not 100% sure that she's going to do it. And I know this place. I've been in this place before where I thought that I had really affirmed my boundaries and I really set out to do certain things and I knew what I wanted to do until there was a man in my presence. And next thing you know, I'm bending and folding and flipping and breaking and ignoring glaring red flags just to have somebody. Now I'm just keeping it a buck with you. It's happened to the best of us. It's even happened to me. And that let me know your energy ain't healed. That pick me energy in you is not healed. So I'm worried about Ashley, and I'm hoping that she does what she knows that she needs to do. But it's easier said than done. You do it when you're alone, when you're single and you're good and you're at peace. But when the man is presented to you, now it's time to show and prove. Are you going to stick to, doing what you're supposed to do? So I'm hoping that for Ashley. I really am. All right, next person up is Vernisha. I liked Vernisha. I wouldn't say she was a favorite of mine, but I liked Vernisha. I thought she was cute. Vernisha dresses young. That's the only thing I remember not liking about Vernisha was the way she would dress. And I would always say, I don't care how fine you are. I don't care how nice that body is. It ain't no place. It ain't no place for a grown hoe in a young hoe outfit. It just ain't never, not to you, I just use the word hoe because I can't say the B word like I want to say. I think about that even now as I'm getting older, like this is cute on me, but is it age appropriate on me? So yeah, that's the only thing about Vernisha where I'm like, oh Lord. But she looks beautiful still, hasn't aged today. She looks great. We know that she has two girls. Her girls are older, one of them is 21 and I think the other ones are like older teens. But Vernisha says she can't just date anybody. So that's been a big problem for her. She also says that with y'all remember Joel, that everybody loved y'all. I was not feeling Joel like that. I know a bunch of people was, but I just was not feeling him like that. And I knew he was going to flip the switch on her, and he did about 2 weeks after the reunion. And made it seem like Vernisha was moving a little too fast for him. And maybe she was, but I got a feeling that y'all probably had sex, and I done told y'all 100 times, don't give us none of that. Don't give it. Don't tell me don't give it away. Don't give it to us if you don't want us on your line. All right. Now, I think times is changing. I think the girls is really wearing y'all out these days. I think these young girls is using y'all for a meet to meet. But listen, if you don't want us, then you stay away. You keep the juices away from us. That's what you do. Because next thing you know, you had 27 missed calls. And I tried to tell you, right? Not for me. I don't do that no more. So anyway, it ended up being over for them. And she's still looking for love in all the wrong places. So Vernisha still wants somebody. But she was like, she has everything she could ever want. The only thing that's missing from her life is love. So I just love to hear that she does live a full life because I think that's very important. Then we have Zadia. I don't care what y'all, Zadia don't want nobody. I just don't think she do. I think Zadia came on here to show off some of her fashions and, to be cute and go back home. But y'all know she was with her man, for 10 months. I forget his name. And she says that she does have the reputation of being a mean girl on Ready to Love. And that's because it was true. You expressed yourself in very nasty ways. You really could have gave one of the girls this season a run for their money. She should have been here with Janelle, and we could have seen how that. Can y'all imagine a show with Janelle and Zadia? Ooh, Zadia would have had Janelle hemmed up tight, baby, because she she got that same type of energy. I just don't think Zadia's is as delusional, but y'all remember she got snappy with the host. They showed that preview of please make sure you mention our connection because we did make one as well. I was like, girl, Bye. Okay, they're not together anymore. They went their own separate ways. And so she's been trying to date out in DC. It hasn't been working for her. And then last but not least, y'all, we got Charisse. Okay, the whole Evelyn Lozada slash Giselle spinoff. Charisse again is, I ain't gonna say Charisse don't want nobody. I think Charisse has a very specific standard. I ain't even gonna say it's high. I think it's specific. And if you fall anywhere outside of them specifics, boy, you got to go. Doesn't hurt that she's still a very beautiful woman, even into her 40s. She's still very good looking. I'm pretty sure she gets hollered at by young men and older men. I'm gonna tell y'all that wall thing, baby. I used to be watching the videos like the bros used to do, and baby, I would be in my room crying. I remember I was like 29. And I was just like, I'm never going to find anybody. I'm going to be so old and ugly and nobody's going to want me. I'm just telling y'all, I'm just being transparent. I'm telling y'all the show going to bring a lot of stories out of me. And child, I ain't going to say it's like, I'm not going to say there's no truth to it, especially if you want children. But as far as attractiveness and what you can get, it's a lie. It is a lie, honey. These men you will be amazed at the men that have come around me way too young. And I will tell them, I don't have any money. You know, I'm not a sugar mom. They don't care about none of that. They don't care. Young and old, they just want some time and attention. They are deprived, right? So I was just gonna say, the ladies, don't believe the hype. Unless you want kids, then you should get on that. You should definitely get on that. So anyway, so about Charisse. So Charisse is just funny. I can tell she has a very specific standard for herself. She didn't make, as far as I knew, any connections on the show for Ready to Love. But she did also have a reputation for being a mean girl on the show, and she had some run-ins herself. So we go see how this house work with her and Zadia in it. But those are the ladies. Then we have the matchmaker. Her name was it Tomicus? Her name wasn't no Tomicus. What am I talking? It was something Lee, right? The matchmaker. She's been successfully matchmaking for many, many years. She has been married for 16 years. They have 2 children, and she has brought 25 men to meet them today. I said, Venetia is me. She was like, oh, wait, can we go get ready? Right. I ain't trying. Don't catch me looking busted. So anyway, she didn't look busted, but you know what I mean. So they go upstairs to get ready so they can meet these 25 single men in the New Orleans area. And Charisse said, I am fine with meeting somebody from New Orleans and getting with somebody from New Orleans as long as he has some money and he can afford it. Okay. But they get to meet with the fellas, and we're going to get to see what those men are like. What I want to know, though, is what was the process of selecting these men? Because we know that Ready to Love skips important details when it comes to who is allowed to be on the show. They don't really do a whole lot of deep dives with the men or the women. If you look good and you say you got a job, you can come. That's what it seems like. So I would like to know what was the criteria. Hopefully we find that out as the season progresses. Listen, you guys do not know how many viruses I'm risking on my phone right now. I'm on Mr. World Premiere TV trying to watch the show. Oh, I should have got my mama's cable link. Okay, so the ladies get the opportunity to meet 25 eligible men here in New Orleans. The matchmaker's name is Tamika, y'all. When it comes up on the screen, it looks like Tomicus. Y'all remember Tomicus? LaToya Luckett's ex. Oh, Lord, we don't want to bring him up. So anyway, they're going to meet with these men, and they get to pick one guy that they want to spend some more time with. And I was like, whoa, we're getting right to it. Not that it's a bad move, but it's just kind of like, now you was not first choice, right? But they get to go with whatever caught their eye, which I hope this is a test, because usually what catches your eye first is probably not necessarily what is going to work for you. It's usually the other way around. But anyway, They pick their men's, and you guys know that I am not going to bother to remember all of the names of 25 men. I'm just not. Once we get some people solidified, then I'll probably start remembering names a little better, because please. So Ashley meets up with Donald. I do remember his name. Donald, I think his job title said he was a videographer. He's 35. And is he 35? Let me not even try to say the ages. So he's talking to Ashley, and Ashley's asking questions, and he's giving pretty cookie cutter answers. You know, what's your type? You my type. What you looking for in a relationship? Oh, somebody fun, you know, and somebody I could be friends with. You know, very standard answers. Ashley's doing the most. She reminds me of somebody I know. But I'm going to say this. I almost, even though she's quite extra, I would almost rather her be herself. That way, whatever man she likes can see it and know if that's something he want to have on his plate all the time, rather than her to act super reserved and he find out about her ways later. So it was actually like, oh, Ashley, I mean, you are surely one of a kind. After that, we see, I'm going to go in any random order, actually. I want to talk about Sharice and her man. Now, he was a Marine Corps, and I said, run, girl. I was just kidding. But he's a Marine officer. I'm going to call him Marine because I don't remember his name, but he had on a powder blue suit. And y'all, he said he had 3 children. Now, the other 2 children, I want to say, are one's a teen, one's like a preteen, and then he had a 4-year-old. I said Marine. But Sharice is just like, ooh, a 4-year-old. I need my daddy. I need my daddy too. But you know, I don't know if Sharice is wanting children or desiring to have children or not, but he says he's open to having more. I said, sir, when does the buck stop for you? But he's open to having more children if the person he's with wants more. I'm trying to remember if they said he was married or not. Like, is this an ex-wife situation? Is this a baby mama, more than one? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Moving on, though. Zadia and her date that she chose, or the guy that she chose to connect with first. No, I don't think the two of them are going to have anything. I don't know if he was nervous or if he had like a certain layout of what he wanted to do, but he immediately jumped in to like, tell me a little bit about yourself. And, you know, when was the last time you was in a relationship? Like, he didn't really try to ask any of those beginning probing questions, or just kind of let the conversation flow naturally. So Zadia wasn't feeling that. Zadia admits that this is the thing about Zadia. This is why I say I don't even know if she came on the show looking for love, or if she came on here to just get some fits off and be cute. Zadia knows what her issues are. She's very aware of herself. She even said, I don't have a lot of patience. I know that I can be very impatient and talk to you in a certain kind of way. I don't like the beginning stages of a relationship, that stale conversation. I don't do a lot of that. So Zadia knows what her things are. But I just think Zadia is like, you know, I'm not changing. All right. They either go come over here and get with it or get lost. Now, I don't think it's a problem to have that kind of mindset if you are truly okay with being by yourself. And that's why I say I really do think Zadia came on here to get her fit off. She came on here so y'all can see her clothes and her wigs, and then she gonna leave. But I can't say for sure. That's just the vibe I'm getting from Zadia. Zadia actually gives a lot of... I'm not like as mean girlish as Zadia is with the women, but she actually reminds me a lot of myself, honestly, you guys. I tell, and I'm dating now, but I will tell any man that I deal with, you're not competing with other men. There's no other man that you're competing with. You're competing with me. I'm the catch. I'm that girl. I'm who I love. I'd marry myself if I could. You know, I've created a life for myself that I really enjoy. Like, for the first time in years, I don't find myself crying and just feeling alone because I didn't, you know, get the relationships that, don't have the relationship that I would want. Now, I do still cry over like situations that didn't work out as planned. And sometimes I think about the amount of time I put into those things and what I could be doing. So I mourn the loss of my time a lot, and I mourn my naivete a lot. But As far as the life that I've created for myself and the fulfillment that I have about my life, that is where the competition is. The competition is not over a man. You are competing with my comfort zone. You're competing with my peace. You're competing with my happiness. You have to feel better than that. You have to be worth the risk of me possibly putting that to the side, or at least for that looking differently for me. And, you know, these days it's very hard to find. These days it's very hard to find. You know, men and women, we require different things out of a relationship. And one thing I've noticed about men, they require a lot of emotional, I don't want to say labor from us, but that's the best word I can describe, because you know, the ways that women get emotional fulfillment, I don't think a lot of men have the opportunity to do so. You know, they not with their boys getting a bunch of hugs and got their bros telling them they love them, you know, unless you're a part of a special male group. They can get it from kids, you know, if they have that kind of relationship with their children. But if not, you know, they're not really feeling it. You know, I got women hugged up on me all the time telling me they love me, and nieces and nephews and all of that. So I do get a lot of emotional fulfillment in life. You know, I'm not deprived. And so I think when you get with a man, you have to really be prepared to be kind of that emotional fulfillment for him. And yeah, it's a lot of, I mean, it's a big responsibility. That's all I'm going to say. All right, I'm gonna move on because I feel like I said too much. Now we get to whose date? Oh, Jabari. Now see how I remember his name? Vernisha and Jabari. Jabari and Vernisha get along very well. They're around the same age. They both have children. They're both about to be empty nesters. So they seem to have a lot of good convo. But Jabari also had good convo with Zadia, and I think Jabari is just one of those guys. He seems very personable. He's a jokester. He can kind of relate to you on almost any level, seems like. So I think with any of the women, he probably would have hit it off. Maybe not with Sharice, because I think Sharice like a certain type of look. But with all of the women, I think he would have hit it off when it came to his conversation. So it didn't surprise me that when we get to the back to the matchmaker with Tamika tells them they have to pick somebody to go on a date with. Both Jabari and Zadia chose both Vernisha and Zadia chose Jabari because they both had great conversation with him and they want to go out with him again. Vernisha say no smoke. It is what it is. Tamika makes sure to stress to the ladies, not only do we need these men to keep it real with you guys, but y'all have to keep it real too. And you definitely need to keep it real with each other. So she already put that out there. Sharice goes out on a date with the Marine man because even though he has young children, him being willing means he's not selfish to her. And I'm like, that's what you think. Then, and Ashley goes out with Donald, which I really don't know why. I didn't see much out of Donald during their date, but she's hoping he'll be more open and personable and all of that. So let's get ready for these dates. Oh, dear me. Okay, so Ashley goes on her date with Donald, and I might have to take it back, y'all. Donald is truly amused by Ashley, and I was glad he was because, you know, it always works like this. Like the girl that is doing the most always got some toned down man just sitting there with his hand under his chin like, look at my baby, y'all. She's so extra. And that's what it was kind of giving. Donald was just looking at Ashley like, what? But he says he loves it. He was like, I love her personality. She is so different from what I'm used to. I just find her to be so funny and refreshing. He enjoyed it. Ashley was like, oh, I'm so glad you like me because, you know, I am a lot. She said she was like that from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And after 6 p.m. it's demon time. Oh my gosh, she is so funny to me. She's so funny. It's like it's almost awkwardly funny. Like, is she for real? But yes, she for real, y'all. She for real. I love what she wore on the date. I thought it was really simple, but she looked beautiful. They ended up eating crawfish. I think it was her first time eating crawfish. And she asked the crawfish, were they ready to love? But their date was decent, you guys. Donald is a quiet guy, but he seems to like what she is bringing. She told him, I don't want to meet your representative for real. Like, keep it honest. The thing that I'm worried about with Donald is he keeps saying how he's looking for a friend first, and he's definitely looking for a relationship. That's the goal. That's the end goal. But he's probably, when people start talking like that, I'm just like, do you want to you want to mess around for a year and then finally get together? Because that's what it sounds like you're saying. But I don't know. Next day is Sharice and Marine Man. That is now his name. He shows up in a vest, y'all. And I could not zoom in on the vest. But was it the Cat in the Hat? Was it the Nightmare Before Christmas? Sharice is so disturbed by the fact that he does not have on a suit jacket. She's like, I know I'm being superficial, but where's his jacket? And he comes in and she asks him how old he is. He's 38. He looks older than that. Now, I know that he thinks he looks young, and probably because he still has his hair, but he has a face that looks like it's been here before. Not an old face, but like a wise face, full of wisdom. It could be the military. The military will put age on you. But she's concerned still about the 4-year-old, to which he says that in his last situation, it was just toxic and it didn't work out. And she was like, okay, well, do you got that under control though? Like, if you tell her like not to be calling me or saying nothing to me. And he was like, she wouldn't like it. I said, I see. That mean you ain't, I don't know if you got it under control then. Cause if she don't like something, what'll she do? And Sharice was like, I will block you in a minute. You will don't call me, call Tyrone. I don't have time for no drama. I don't think Sharice is going to end up liking him in the end. He does say that he recognizes she has some walls up, but he thinks he can get around them. He also says he has cheated before when he was young and immature, but not anymore. And she says that cheating's a deal breaker for her. And he said it's a deal breaker for everybody. And she was like, well, some people look the other way. He said, oh, well, what, you gonna look the other way? Like he was kind of hoping for it. And Sharice is like, no, I will not be looking the other way. So I don't really know what's gonna happen with the two of them, but those are the first 2 dates. All right, y'all, I finished watching the show in its entirety. And which way do I want to go first? I got a lot to say. I've already said so much. So Vernisha and Jabari go out on a date. The date was good. Jabari, they seem to have chemistry. They have a lot in common. He seems to like Vernisha's energy. I'm a little concerned about Jabari only because, okay, I'm not concerned. You know what? Okay, I'll save it. Let me save that. Jabari does inquire with her about just her ways, or like what type of woman she is. And she does describe herself to be as like a nurturer, a woman that can take the step back. And Jabari does tell her about his playboy ways back in the day and how he's had the role of father, he had the role of son, but he really wants to wear that role as husband. And if he can be with just one woman is the question. And he talks about Houston and all their beautiful women, and Vernisha makes a joke like, yeah, y'all can't make a choice. That's why dating is so hard, because there's one beautiful woman over here, one beautiful woman over there. I do think he seems to like Vernisha, but I don't know, y'all. It's something about him. It's something about him. I don't know. But Vernisha does say that she is going to, even though they do have chemistry, even though he did ask for her number, she is going to make sure not to lock in on one man like she's done in the past. She's going to date. All right. So, or be open to dating. So then, Jabari and Zadia go on the date. The date is a lot different. First of all, they have a tarot card reader walk up to them and ask if they want to get read. And they say yes. You know, both of them are open to it. And the card reader pulls a Queen of Cups, which means a woman who knows what she wants. Queen energy. Keep that. And then the Two of Swords, which is somebody who has to make a decision. That's the card that the reader pulls for Jabari, which was very funny. When him and Zadia have a conversation, I just think that he probably thinks Zadia is cute, but Zadia is not. Zadia's a very firm woman who, like the card said, knows what she wants, and she's not really folding on it. Like, we can talk about it, but chances are I'm not really going to fold on it. He asked her if she wants children. She said no. Kid. No, he didn't ask. She told him that she wasn't interested in having children. And he was like, really? And she said no. And he said, oh, because I just always thought like of a woman. When I think of a woman, I think about, a mother, a wife, nurturer. Why do you think that? Why do you think that? I just, I don't know. It's just, Jabari. When I think of if I were to say, when I think of a man, I think of a husband first before children. Provider, sole provider. People would start looking at me funny and saying that I was being judgmental towards Jabari. Right? If that's something that she doesn't want to do, you have to learn how to see women outside of the roles that society and the world and everybody else has placed on them. Every woman is not meant to be a mother. I'm sorry. And we can think of some women right now who shouldn't have done it. Okay. Every woman is not meant to play that role, but there are so many other things that women can do. There are so many other qualities that we have that make us so dynamic and so great and so personable and all of those things. And so just because your thoughts of a woman consist of a certain thing does not mean that every woman is going to fit that requirement. And doesn't mean that they are not very much a woman. So he already had me side-eyeing him for what he thinks a woman is, right? But Zadia is just like, it's a conversation we could have, but if I have a child, baby, it's going to have to be some contracts involved. I said, she sounded more and more like me every day, but my contract don't involve necessarily a mommy makeover and whatever else, but it does involve money. Okay. Having children is financial planning. So if you want me to have your child, you better have some finances on the table. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't give out legacies for free. These bad boys cost too much money for you to be having them on a wing and a prayer, and they need things. And I'm old. So any child I have gonna need more things, because they probably ain't gonna be, they might not be wrapped too tight in the head. So we might have to get them extra things. But anyway, y'all, yeah, so I don't think it's going to work with the two of them just because they don't seem like they're on the same path. But yeah. So when they meet up with the matchmaker, Tamika, they do find out that Vernisha's date went a lot better than Zadia's date. Zadia says she's getting a lot of friend zone energy with Jabari. She doesn't know if that's going to work for her. And Vernisha says that she doesn't want to do what she did last time, to which the matchmaker stops her and says, like, hey, don't bring up old energy from old relationships. I want you guys to start fresh and new. And that was a word for myself, you guys, because I too will bring up some past things into a new relationship. So that was kind of a little nugget I took for myself. But Vernisha does say it's just going to be a reminder for her to date differently. So she kind of reworded it, but same thing. She's going to do the same thing. Then, at that time, we do find out that she is going to be picking their second date as their matchmaker. She's going to pick who she believes is best. And then after that, they will have to decide, do you want to go with your own choice? Do you want to go with the matchmaker's choice? Which one is going to be a better fit for you? Now, prior to that, we saw a moment between Ashley and Zadia. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, if I came on this show, I would not leave with a man. I am going to leave with a friend. Like, I'm just not even going to be worried about it like that, because I don't know, you guys. I just don't care to be tap dancing for the guys like that. I really don't. So when Ashley and Zadia were in that pool and Ashley was like, I need my quality time, I was like, yes. Oh my gosh, it was just so funny. And Zadia was like, I'm not about to be up with you to 2:00 in the morning. Yes, you are, Zadia. But Ashley was just like, okay. Well, I mean, that's my girl though. That's my girl. We like the same. We like to dress the same. We do this, we do that. So I was like, oh, Ashley, you are so sweet. That is not what we're here for. But she needs her girl time. So Zadia says she's gonna give her some of it, and they end up talking about Ashley's. Ashley said she was gonna make burgers, and Zadia was like, wait, now how you cook your turkey burgers? And Ashley was just like, I have 2 restaurants. You can Google them. I said, okay. Okay. She had 2 family restaurants, which she did very well at. And it is also where her stepfather was shot trying to break up an argument, and she gets very emotional and discusses how she believes that's why a lot of her relationships haven't worked, is because she has major daddy issues, and she's been looking for a man like him in everybody that she's been dating. Now, I wouldn't necessarily call that a dad issue. A dad issue is more so when I think daddy issues, I think you've never received the love and the care and the promise, not the promise, just the presence of a man in your life. So you don't really know what that feels like. So when you do finally feel it, either you fall too quickly for it because you've been deprived of it, or you fight against it because it's just not a feeling that, having a man care for you is just not something that you're used to. So that's what I think of when I think of a true daddy issue. But I definitely think she's experiencing some grief, and she has her stepfather up on a pedestal. A lot of girls have their dad up on a pedestal. But one of the things that we do have to realize as an adult, while you can honor and respect and love your father and really want a man that emulates the way that he loves you, you do have to understand that that is your father. You are not in a relationship with your father, and you are not sleeping with your father. Once you enter those things into the picture with the man, that's different, right? So daddy love ain't never gonna feel like daddy love. You get what I'm saying? The other daddy, because some of y'all into that. So the love that you receive from your father, that father love, is different from, that romantic relationship love. But I understand people putting their dad on a pedestal, but just remember, you weren't in a relationship with your father, not a romantic relationship. And although you may have seen him treat your mama well, you may not know all they ins and outs. Okay? Your dad as a husband may not be the dad he was to you as your dad the father may not exactly be the same when it comes to dad the husband, is what I mean. So once we become adults, we really do have to realize that and let that settle into our spirit. And I think that helps you see your parents, because some people put their mom on a pedestal. It helps you to see your parents as human, and also be able to navigate life in a way where you just see your parents as two human beings who had their own life experiences as well. Some good, some bad, right? But I felt bad for her. I know she was really hurt, and I was glad Zadia was there to comfort her. And Ashley was like, I hope this don't make me look weak. I don't know, you guys. Zadia, she mean, so I really don't want to say we actually do have a lot of similarities. It's a little scary. But I'm not mean to the girls. I don't have it in me to be mean to the ladies like that. Now these men, maybe I don't play with them. But anyway, y'all, what did you guys think about the show? What did you guys think about the episode? Do you think we're going to enjoy it? I think I'm actually going to enjoy this show. There's going to be moments that piss me off, but overall, I think I'm going to enjoy the show. And do you guys think these ladies are ready for a real relationship, or do you think some of them are just here? Do you think some of them have some healing to do? Do you think some of them may never go find no man? They just here to be here? And have you heard about the matchmaker, and do you like her? Let me know down in the comments, and I will see you guys for the next one. Bye.